Welcome to today's story of the weight of tears. In a small town nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, there lived a young woman named Amelia. Despite her radiant smile and warm demeanor, Amelia carried a heavy burden within her heart. She had lost her parents at a tender age and was left to care for her younger siblings. Struggling to make ends meet, she was weighed down by the responsibility of their well-being, the worry of an uncertain future, and the overwhelming loneliness that comes from bearing it all alone. Amelia's days were filled with toil and endless chores, leaving her with little time to focus on her own needs. She seldom allowed herself the luxury of expressing her emotions, believing that tears were a sign of weakness. Instead, she bottled up her grief and sorrow, hoping to protect her siblings from the pain she felt deep inside. One day, as the sun dipped below the horizon, and the night sky adorned itself with a tapestry of stars, Amelia found herself wandering through the quiet woods. The soft rustling of leaves and the gentle whispers of nature enveloped her, offering a comforting embrace. She came across a small stream where the moonlight danced upon the water, casting ethereal patterns that seemed to call her closer. Unable to resist the allure of the shimmering stream, Amelia knelt by its edge. As she gazed at her reflection, her eyes filled with unshed tears, and she felt an overwhelming surge of emotions. It was then that she realized the tears were no longer hers to keep. Allowing herself to be vulnerable, Amelia began to weep. Each tear that fell into the water seemed to carry with it a portion of her burden. As the tears mingled with the stream, the weight on her heart seemed to lessen, and a profound sense of relief washed over her. In the days that followed, Amelia returned to the stream often. Each time she did, she felt a deeper connection with the water, as if it understood her pain and offered solace in return. Slowly, she began to open up to the idea of sharing her struggles with others. She confided in a close friend, who listened with empathy and reassured her that it was okay to lean on others when times were tough. As Amelia embraced vulnerability, she found that others reciprocated, sharing their own burdens and fears. Bonds deepened, and a network of support formed around her, carrying her when she needed it the most. The community she had longed for was finally taking shape. One evening, during a town gathering, Amelia stood before her neighbors and friends, her heart pounding with trepidation. Summoning the strength she had discovered within herself, she spoke candidly about her journey of tears, how the simple act of crying had lightened her heart and paved the way for healing. To her surprise, tears glistened in the eyes of those listening. It was a moment of profound realization for everyone present. Crying was not a sign of weakness but a testament to the strength of the human spirit. A chorus of acceptance and understanding embraced Amelia, and the barriers that separated them all began to crumble. As weeks turned into months, the town transformed into a haven of emotional acceptance. Tears were no longer stifled but welcomed as a natural part of life's ebb and flow. Crying became a means of releasing grief, stress, and heartache, and the town began to heal collectively. Amelia's siblings also noticed the change in their sister. She became more open, emotionally available, and supportive, which brought them closer together as a family. They discovered that sharing their burdens lightened the load for everyone and reinforced the power of their bond. One year after that fateful night by the stream, a festival was held in honor of the newfound emotional liberation that had swept through the town. The stream where it all began was now adorned with hundreds of floating candles, symbolizing the collective release of burdens. The town's residents gathered, their faces aglow with joy, unity, and an unspoken understanding that they were not alone in their struggles. As the years passed, the small town flourished not only in prosperity but also in the strength of its community. The practice of open emotional expression had become ingrained in the town's culture, and a spirit of empathy and compassion permeated every aspect of life. Newcomers were welcomed with open arms, knowing they had entered a place where they could find support and understanding in their times of need. Amelia's story became legendary, and she became a source of inspiration for many. People from neighboring towns traveled far and wide to hear her speak about the transformative power of tears and vulnerability. Her wisdom and kindness touched the hearts of countless individuals, leaving a lasting impression on all who crossed her path. As the town flourished, Amelia continued to grow as a person. She found solace in sharing her experiences, knowing that her journey had not only helped herself but had also empowered others to seek emotional release without shame. She dedicated herself to creating a safe space for anyone in need, acting as a counselor for those facing personal struggles and emotional hardships. In time, the once small town became a center of emotional healing and support, attracting people from all walks of life. It became known as Tearfall, a name that celebrated both the beauty of vulnerability and the town's transformation through tears. Amelia's siblings, who had watched their sister's journey with awe and admiration, followed in her footsteps. They, too, learned the value of emotional openness and vulnerability. Together, they built a foundation that provided aid and support for orphan children, ensuring that no child in Tearfall would bear the burdens they once had to endure alone. Throughout the years, Tearfall faced its own share of challenges. But each time the community was confronted with adversity, they stood united, shedding tears not only in sadness but also in strength, as they faced their problems together. The town's collective resilience, fueled by tears, proved to be an unbreakable force. As Tearfall's reputation spread, so did the legend of the stream that had started it all. Visitors would come from afar to sit by the water's edge, letting their emotions flow freely. They would hear stories of the courageous young woman who had discovered the healing power of tears and found strength in vulnerability. One day, a young traveler arrived in Tearfall, burdened by his own sorrows. He had heard tales of the town's extraordinary emotional liberation and sought solace by the stream. As he wept, he felt a gentle hand on his shoulder, and when he looked up, he saw Amelia smiling at him. "It's okay," she said, her voice filled with compassion. "Let it all out. You're not alone here." The traveler felt an overwhelming sense of relief as he allowed his emotions to flow. In that moment, he realized the transformative power of the stream and the remarkable town that had grown around it. Inspired by the tale of Amelia and Tearfall, the young traveler decided to stay in the town and make it his new home. He too became an integral part of the community, contributing his skills and talents to help others. Together with Amelia and the residents of Tearfall, he helped forge an even stronger bond among the townspeople. As time went on, the legend of Tearfall spread like wildfire, touching hearts and inspiring change far beyond its borders. People around the world learned that crying was not a sign of weakness but a testament to the courage it takes to face life's challenges head-on. Slowly but surely, the stigma surrounding tears and vulnerability began to erode, making way for a more compassionate and understanding world. As Amelia stood by the stream once more, she closed her eyes and thanked the tears that had set her free. She realized that crying had been her silent ally all along, waiting for her to embrace its power. The burdens she once carried now felt shared, and she knew that she would never be weighed down by them again. And so, the story of how crying can offload burdens continued to be shared across generations, carrying the timeless message of hope, healing, and the strength found in connecting with one's emotions. The legacy of Amelia and Tearfall lived on, forever reminding humanity of the profound truth that sharing our tears and burdens can lead to a brighter, more compassionate world for us all.